I found out that my wife made me raise another man's child, so I left. Now her sister is bashing me for letting DNA destroy our lives. So 2 weeks ago I found out that my 5-year-old isn't biologically mine. I felt so hurt and betrayed that my wife of 6 years of relationship for 9 cheated on me and even got pregnant by another man. I took a paternity test without telling my wife. I immediately confronted my wife and called her a whore in my anger and many other names. She started crying and explained that she hid it because she didn't want to break our happy family of 3. I asked her why did she cheat on me. She explained we had a very nasty argument back in the day, so she hooked up with someone and it was just one-time fling and has been loyal to me. She said she had doubts that I wouldn't be the father, but she never took paternity. She said she was happy seeing me happy and didn't go with termination for the peace of our family and didn't tell me the truth. I told her I am divorcing and I don't want to be in our son's life. She started crying and begging me to not break the family, and I am still his father and I have been a wonderful father and a husband. I should forgive her and don't let DNA destroy our lives, and started begging me. I immediately left and she was blowing up my phone. I decided at first not to tell anyone else, but in the end, I got very angry and decided to tell everyone. Everyone is pissed at my wife. Her parents said they wanted nothing to do with their daughter and cut contact. My sister furiously called my soon-to-be ex and cursed her out. Her brother and sister on the other hand said I had humiliated my soon-to-be ex and shouldn't have told everyone and should have kept in between us. Yesterday her sister called me and said I need to take her back and come back for my son. I said I don't have a son. And she got angry and started cursing me and said I am a weak, pathetic man. No wonder my wife cheated on me, and I am so pathetic I had to go behind my wife's back to take paternity cause I am insecure and weak, that I am giving up on my son just because we don't share blood and I am the reason my wife is alone and depressed. I cut her call instead. I called her husband and told him everything. I said that the family is full of nut jobs. Maybe it runs in their blood. You should take paternity as well and don't trust those bees. He said he's sorry on his wife's behalf and we ended the call. Now I'm ignoring all my wife's and that bee's call. Update. I decided to do paternity because my sister asked me to. She asked me multiple times but I brushed it off. I never ever thought of my wife cheating on me, let alone getting pregnant by another man. My sister is my best friend and has always looked out for me. She said I should paternity because my son doesn't look like me at all. I said he looks like his mom, but she forced me and I am glad she did. She was so heartbroken seeing me cry on her and angry at my wife. I must have hugged her for hours and cried because I truly loved my son, but he reminded me of my wife's cheating and made my pain worse. Anyway, after reading comments about how my son is a victim just like me and all this, I decided to not cut him off completely right away cause it might mentally scar him. I called my wife and she picked up my call right away. I said I am coming over to meet my son. And she cried and said she was glad I am coming over. I asked her if the bee is still with her, and she said she is. I asked her to tell her to not talk to me otherwise I'll punch her filthy mouth. She said B will not interact with me. When my son saw me he was very happy. He instantly hugged me. He asked me where I was for so long. I picked him up and said I was working. I played with him for an hour and gently explained to him that I will be away frequently but will visit you and be in contact. He didn't like the news, so to cheer him up I said I will prepare a very good surprise for his birthday. Not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out. It's in December, so I'll figure something out. Anyway, after he went outside to play, I talked to my wife. My wife instantly latched onto me, hugged me and started crying. She asked me to come back to her and not to give up on our son and on her over a mistake. She wanted to terminate but she didn't because I was happy and she's been loyal to me since then. I got even angrier and I grabbed her arm and yelled at her that she destroyed me and our son. When he finds out the truth he won't love you as much as he loves you now. I came in you every single night. Where did it all go? But a random man comes in you once and you got pregnant? We both know I am not infertile. I told her I wanted to tell every single person we know the truth. Your friends, your friend's friend, the whole effing neighborhood, and every single one of her family members, even if they live in effing China. Even to those you haven't talked to in years, and every single one of your future partners. She started crying and shaking. I told her I wouldn't. I wanted to exact my vengeance upon her, but if I did this it would hurt the innocent child and ruin him. I said do not misunderstand, I'm doing it for him, not for you. She said I was the love of her life and she couldn't live without me and she would wait until I calmed down and she would fight for me. She would not let her family break just because of a mistake she made, and she would give me as many kids as I want and she herself will do paternity. And she started kissing me in my face desperately. I pushed her and said you are delusional. You acting as if you have ruined my car or something. I would have forgiven you for anything else, but this is a betrayal to your husband and your own child. I yelled at that filthy bee of a sister to get her professional help. She's going crazy. Before she could say anything I left cause I wanted her to be as mad as she could possibly get. After I came back I sent a text to my wife that I would be visiting her for my son frequently, but I'm only thinking about him and nothing else, and don't make it all worse than it already is. Think about him and be a good mother. I am now living with my sister and she has given me full support and hugs me until I calm down, even if it takes me hours. I will start divorce proceedings and I am his father, so it's unlikely I will escape CS, and even if I do I have a moral obligation to be in his life and F the whore and B. Both sisters are ass. Maybe it runs in their blood.